It's June 18th here in north central Massachusetts, zone 5B, with about 150 plus or minus day season between frosts. My parents were down visiting, which was fun, just for a night, and so we got quite a bit done. They helped us in the garden, and my dad helped Jay with the wood mill for a bit, which was great. So I thought I'd do an update on what we were able to get done. I fertilized all of the beds over here with our general all-purpose down-to-earth fertilizer. We ate lots of peas. This has been fantastic. The ones I transplanted are these monsters here, and then the ones I direct seeded over there at the end. Some of the onions are doing really well. The tomatoes actually are still doing pretty well. I keep on pulling the peas back from the spots where the tomatoes are, and they keep on overgrowing to each other. But I snack on these constantly. And then I think these are snow pea type, but very good. And some of these onions are just mammoth. The pole beans are doing really well. Some of them are really taking off with their runners here. So my dad and Jace were able to finish putting together the bed I'd started to. This is a 6-in-1 Birdie's Race bed, got from Epic Gardening. So this is a new bed for this year, and they replaced this guy here, which was the extra corners from this tall bed, and that will actually get reinstalled somewhere else, but don't know where yet. But this guy is a 6-in-1. It's a little skinnier than the 8-in-1s, and then it's also shorter than the 8-in-1s. And actually, behind it is a 9-in-1. I'm not sure that'll help you there. You can kind of tell seeing them next to each other. So we planted a whole lot of brassicas. I'm sure I overcrowded these. There's some Brussels sprouts in the middle, and then 2 different types of broccoli. Broccoli from a friend just up the road when we did a plant swap, and then some more broccoli we bought at that farm stand the other weekend. So my mom helped me plant this, and my dad helped Jace install the bed. And actually they ended up taking one of the 6-in-1s we hadn't installed or built yet home with them because they liked it so much. So my mom wants to try doing a taller bed at home. So that will work out well for her. Potatoes are doing really well, but I am really surprised that something actually got in here. And I did try to fix it yesterday, but something was digging in here, and I think it was probably a bunny. And did tear up a few potatoes in the mess. I don't know what it was got in here. I haven't had anything else get this high off the bed, but there are some potatoes that are kind of leaning over the edge, so I'm not sure if that was part of it, but we'll be watching this corner of the potato bed. The potatoes did start to flower, so I do have a few here. I need to get the straw on these sweet potato beds, but they're really actually starting to look like something finally. So I'm excited about that. So these are 2 Birdie's 8-in-1s. There's 15 sweet potatoes in each, although the one in the far corner looks like it might not have made it, so I planted a marigold instead. Over here, the poblanos are doing really well. They're about the same size as last year, and I planted these later, so I'm actually pretty happy with catching up. We ate our first guajillo off of this plant here in salad yesterday. But lots of, these are trident poblanos, lots of different peppers showing up now, which is great. happy with that. We cut the rest of the garlic scapes, or well, I shouldn't say the rest. There are a few you'll see in here, but the majority of the garlic scapes we cut from in this bed. So that's making progress. Some of these are looking a little bit deficient, so the fertilizer in this bed should help a lot. I still need to come back and prune these, but I do have a few of the orange picnics coming in here. This is an Escamillo here. So excited for those. And then lots of cayennes. The cayenne bed over there, I kind of walked by, but lots of cayennes coming in as well. Everything kind of needs water. It's been really windy and it's actually really cold today. The high for today is in the 60s. The low tonight is 47s. So we'll be closing up the greenhouse. We just closed up the sides actually now. For pepperoncinis, we actually did put some of these on the salads as well. These are shishitos. It's what pepperoncinis are made out of. There's one really big one here if I can get to it. So that was good. And my mom was watering the whole garden for me last night, which was helpful. I was able to string up more of the tomatoes, and looks like I needed a clip here for this guy. Try to move him over here. San Marzanos are doing really well. I think this is one of the 2 ounces. This is either a Mountain Magic or a tangerine. It's also a 2 ounce orange or yellowish orange tomato. Or clementine maybe, not tangerine. These San Marzanos I still need to string up. So we're gonna just tie strings up to here. And so I'll have Jace help me actually, because I'm too short. Tie the string on the top, and then we'll have the string going down to the bottom. Different than lower and lean. It'll have a set height it can go, and I will be pruning these a little bit differently, I think, as I'm thinking about it. Over here, the wind's picking up again. My mom was able to help me quite a bit. She planted more onions for me all the way around the outside border on both sides. Probably another 100 and change planted in this bed alone, and she sprinkled onions across a lot of different beds for me. I was able to hang up a lot more of these tomatoes, which was great. I still need to get the rest of the spools. I'm short still a few spools here on these 3 plants. They are some of the most protected plants, so I think we'll be fine there. Do have some really gorgeous tomatoes. This one's kind of funky. It's got some issues too, but it's got a top, 2 tops, just the way it's grown. So the fun part about heirlooms. Some of the leaf curl is due to the high winds we're having. Look at these. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm excited about that. I was able to harvest another grow bag of potatoes, and we just ate those, which was good. The lettuce that I transplanted in is starting to do better. And then my mom and I harvested out all the carrots, in theory, all the carrots from this bed, because we're having critter issues in here in the hoop house, and this was only supposed to be early baby carrots anyways, and so I need to get ready to actually put the cucumbers in this bed and put some support for them up over here. And in order to do that, I needed to clean out the bed. I'd put carrots in here really early season in order to enrich the nitrogen in the soil and loosen up the soil, and so now I'll be able to top it off with some really good compost. We'll pull the lettuce, we'll pull the strawberry babies, and I don't know what type of garlic this is. It's got a very garlic flavor, but it's almost like a little red ball, and it's a perennial, so I'm not sure exactly what that is. And we'll also pull the kale. We did transplant some kale today also, or my mom did for me. So this will get kind of a facelift of just fresh compost on top. Carrots got pulled. I just cleaned up all the carrots. We're putting those in the fridge for eating right now, and then we'll get the cucumbers hopefully in there. The problem being that the cucumbers are getting eaten as of last night. So I had planted them here just as a placeholder, and about 5 of them might be missing at this point. And some of the broccoli got eaten last night. So I have to keep an eye on that, and we'll see. These are gonna get moved to this bed over here, and this bed will get cleaned out, like I said, and we'll have lattice going up, or string or something. Not sure yet. This is the north wall, so it won't matter about shading on the back side. Over here, we've got the lower end lean tomatoes. We still need to get the cables run from one end to the other. We actually ran out of cable, so it's delayed that project a little bit. But the tomatoes are looking pretty good. This one is Valentine. The next one is the Mountain Magic. It's a 2-ouncer. And this one I believe is a Rutgers, which is like maybe an 8-ounce slicer / sauce tomato. It's the Campbell soup one. And then big beef on this end there. So those are growing pretty tall. A lot of the height is because we have the 40% shade cloth on the hoop house here, which makes this usable for the summer, but it also makes the tomatoes kind of grow a lot taller, a little leggier, but they actually do produce absolutely fine. And these will continue to produce in here as long as there's no nutrient deficiencies or diseases or bug issues really. These will continue to grow until November if I let them. So we'll see how that goes. Summer squash in the back, I forgot to water this morning, and so I will water them as soon as we're done with this video, and they will come back to life. So I did fertilize those as well. I need to pull these beans. They're not very happy here in the green stalk, but the strawberries are still doing pretty well here. And we still have lettuce in there. And kale. And alyssum as well. Over here, I need to prune some of these peppers. We have our first habanero. It's an island habanero, I think it's called. And our first Thai chilies here on the front and back. So we will see how those go. Down here on the floor, I do have some very sad peppers that need to be up potted and getting some nutrition, some fertilizer, and some sad tomatoes. I'll try to take care of those very shortly. I also have some very sad snapdragons at the moment. Again, these will pop back as soon as I water them. So these are all for cut flowers, and I did go through and cut the tops so that it will start doing the branching out here, which in theory is supposed to help me get longer stems for the cut flowers. The other thing that we did this weekend with my parents was, or Jay and my dad, is they re-leveled the mill. They were having some torquing issues on some of the boards. So that has had a lot of work on it and seems to be doing much better. They're also figuring out a plan for staging. We're gonna get a delivery of logs. It sounds like pretty quick here. So figuring out where those logs are gonna be, it's probably gonna be right around here. We're gonna start taking the mulch from this side to build this side even more out. And then we're gonna clean up the compost pile as well. The cut flowers bed stock over here is doing pretty good. I'm trying to get Jace maybe tomorrow to come in and put the burn holes in. So we'll see how the weather is for that. And our status for cut flowers is budding. So I'm excited to see how that comes. I don't see much activity here. I think the squirrels stole all my seeds, actually. I saw a bunch of squirrels hanging out over here the other morning, the day after I seeded this, so not holding my breath to see if the stuff comes in. So I do need to start seeds in pots in the hoop house to try to get them going before I plant them out. This bed over here needs some watering, but the borage I planted from seed is doing well here. So that's always good to see. We cut a lot more of the garlic scapes this weekend as well, which is always good. And still have a little damage from maybe a bunny, I'm not really sure, but doesn't seem to be coming back to this spot. So we'll keep an eye on it as this garlic goes to bulb and really focus its energy now that the scapes are cut. Should be just a couple more weeks before we're harvesting this center row. This end row here is a different variety, and this one, the scapes you can still see, there's still quite a few left. So, and probably tomorrow it looks like I should be able to come in and harvest most of these scapes as they spin around. The tomatillos are definitely getting eaten, so eventually I will deal with that, but I just haven't kind of bothered at this point. I also need to get cages for them so that they don't just flop all over. And the drip line that we have here from Johnny Seeds that Jason installed is working really well for these onions. You can see where like birdies run through the bed and stuff, our puppy. But for the most part, these starts are doing well, and these starts I did much later than the ones that are in the other beds. So we'll see how that goes. Over here we have summer squash, baby Pam pumpkins, and then these two giant plants are this one kind of fell over when I had the sprinkler on earlier. These two are the giant Atlantic F1s, so I need to fertilize these. We do have our first little female over here. We'll see if that actually goes, because it's yellow, I'm not sure if it's gonna be okay or not. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Once that flower opens, if it does, I will try to do the pollination. And these all have drip line underneath each hill, and that seems to be working really well actually. So I'm excited for that. It saves a lot of water and a lot of time hand watering. Over here we have the first row is delectable here. I was going to put some more tomatillos here at the end. I seeded them. I don't see anything coming up, so I may actually just start some in pots. They are a 70-something day, 75 maybe day to maturity, so there's still time in theory. This is our sugar buns row here and here. And then my mom and dad helped us weed these two rows in preparations this morning. And then my dad and Jace were able to come in with the tractor and dump all the soil down into these two rows. And then I came back and I seeded these two rows with our favorite corn, Silver Queen. So this is the longest day corn for maturity. So when we're doing the scheduling, this will be the late September corn in theory, which I think will be fantastic. The very light colored ear. And there shouldn't be cross-pollination in theory if we did the schedules correctly between all of these different types, though nature is nature. So we'll see. If there is, they're all at least sweet corn, so no dent corn or field corn will be hopefully mixing in with these. So lots going on. I'll show a couple more clips from this weekend, and I think it's Saturday afternoon, so there's still lots of weekend left, and I have Monday off, so I will probably be out here working in the garden on Monday as well. But hopefully with the cold weather we're gonna have tonight and tomorrow, no issues. We'll keep the hot peppers nice and cozy in the hoop house, the ones that are in there, so they should be fine. But everything else should work okay in theory as we go through this little cold spell. And I know most of the country has had heat spells, so it just depends on where you live and have to work through it. I will try to keep you guys updated, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.